Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, Major D.P. Singh, India's first amputee marathon runner, famous as the Indian Blade Runner, stands as a source of inspiration, exemplifying the art of turning adversity into a boon. We welcome you, sir. Commissioned in the 7th Battalion of Dogra Regiment and having converted to the Army Ordnance Corps, Major D.P. Singh is a proud Kargil War veteran. He has successfully completed 26 half marathons till date, including 3 in extreme high altitude conditions. Honoring his achievements, the Dogra Regiment dedicated a wall of honor to him in Shankla Museum at Dogra Regimental Center, Faizabad, Uttar Pradesh. Major Singh is the first Asian with a disability to do solo skydiving from 12,500 feet, is the recipient of the several national honors. A few of them are Kevin Kerr Ability Mastery Award and the Limca People of the Year Award. Major Singh was honored by the Canadian government for its participation in the iconic Terry Fox Run. He also holds the REX Karamveer Global Fellowship and was bestowed with a national award in the Role Model category by the Government of India, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Major Singh, founder of the NGO, The Challenging Ones, has successfully transformed the lives of over 2,600 amputees in India, enabling more than 1,100 challengers to participate in various running events and excel in para-sports. A biographical novel, Grit, the Major Story, has been published on the life story of Major Singh. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Sir exemplifies this very idea. On that thought, let us turn our attention to Major D.P. Singh, who will enlighten us on the topic transforming adversities into spectacular achievements. Ms. Swapna Shom, Principal Bhavan Tripura Vidya Mandir, Agartala, will preside over this session. Before I invite Major D.P. Singh, let us all watch this video first.
I got commissioned in 97 December and 15th of July 99 I got injured. To me, it was never that something wrong has happened with me. If I wish to be independent, then I have to, do a lot of activities which is actually out of my comfort zone. So being a Fauji, it was always at the back of my mind that how do I run? The first marathon which I did, 2009, is the most memorable one because उस दिन सिर्फ एक डिस्टेंस नहीं ट्रैवल किया था, उस दिन अपनी कमजोरियों को काबू करने की शुरुआत करी थी. It only happened because I thought that I can. Biggest of loss, my shortcoming became my strongest of strength. One thing which confuses most of the people is that if there is a difficulty, if there is a challenge in the life, that challenge is not good. दूसरों के ऊपर जीतना इतना मुश्किल नहीं है जितना अपने ऊपर जीतना है. I might be slow, but I'll keep my flow. I won't stop till I reach the top.
kind of spirit which is exuding. That was something which was really energizing.
Rather than just talking, he wants to do things on ground. The way he motivates people, it's amazing.
He is the inspiration behind all of us, who has motivated us to come out of our hidden zone and be in front of the society.
It is very important and it is very, very critical that in my mind I should always think that I can do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Major D.P. Singh to conduct the session.
It's actually an honor to stand in front of so many principals. अपने स्कूल में कभी प्रिंसिपल के सामने खड़े होते तो हवा गायब होती थी, और यहाँ पे इतने सारे प्रिंसिपल के सामने खड़े होने का मौका मिल रहा है तो हवा थोड़ी सी अभी भी गायब हो रही है. But it's really an honor to be here, ma'am and sir. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Well, I'm sure all of you are undergoing some professional presentations in this seminar out here. This is not a professional presentation at all. I'm going to share my own story and I'm going to connect it to the childhood which I spent in the school and how did the school help me to reach wherever I am. The idea is to take away something for kids like me, the type of kid I was, what could I do in the school, how did school help me or not help me. You will come to know about it during the presentation. And then we can interact also, asking anything about what we discussed. I'm going to give you a perspective which over a period of time I developed to look at the challenges of the life. And I'm very sure that this perspective, if you understand, you will start asking for challenges. Instead of looking at challenge from a perspective of a negative approach, why am I got stuck? Because the reality, the matter of the fact is that it is only and only by undergoing the challenging situations in the life, you actually become something, reach somewhere, get some success, and be a good human being. So this is a journey which I could spend after being declared dead in the war in 1999. 1999 was the war between us and the famous not us. आप जानते हो कौन है? So that happened in the area of J&K, and it is known as, famous as, I'm sure all of you know, the Kargil War. In that war, what happened with me we'll discuss, but this over a period of time is a journey, because in the war I was brought dead to the hospital, declared dead by the surgeon, and from there I could rise back, stand back on my feet and travel this journey. But as you saw in the video, the thing which made me travel this journey is this thought. And there's a underlying fact of this thought is this: not by changing anything outside. Most of us try to change the scenario outside us, change the people outside us, fight with the situations outside us, but we tend to forget that there is somebody inside us who needs to win over first. So the story began way back in 1999 when I was deployed on line of control in Aknoor area. If you are familiar with the geography, Aknoor is a direct approach from Jammu towards the Pakistan side. And this is the area where in 71 war, Pakistan has encroached and come till Jammu in our area. Then we had pushed them back. So I was deployed on line of control on a small post which was hardly 80 meters away from the enemy post. I was commanding that small post with 29 men. For 2 days there was a lull in the war, and during that lull I initially thought that there is a respite to my men. थोड़ा चाय पानी पी सकते हैं हम आराम से. But actually, unlike matches or games or sports arena where you take a break, drinks break or tea break or lunch break, in the war, break is actually bad. Because if there is a break, that means something fishy is going to happen. Something fishy is being planned by the enemy, and it's like something like lull before the storm. And as the luck would have, immediately once the firing started again after 48 hours lull, the first bomb lands 1.5 meters away from me. So perhaps during that period they were wrecking the post and wrecking the movement of ours, that kahan pe kaun kaise ghum raha hai, kahan baith raha hai, uth raha hai, and they targeted me in that attack because the bombs were actually targeting the position where I was standing, sitting or doing things. The first one lands little away from me and the second one lands 1.5 meters away from me. Bomb exploded like a anar bomb, dekha aapne? So that was a mortar bomb. It explodes. It's an area weapon जो अनार की तरह फटता है, and the shrapnel or the splinters, kills whosoever comes in the diameter, the killing zone. The killing zone of that bomb is 8 meter dia from the point of impact, and I was hardly 1.5 meters away from that. As the luck would have, ammunition waste करना था पाकिस्तानियों का. I hope you understand a little bit of Hindi. हम सब भारतीय हैं? Are we? Yes. Absolutely. Good. So, but it did impact me because all the shrapnels, some pieces cut me through, some are still embedded inside me. There are 73 bomb particles which are still inside my body. And I was unconscious within fraction of seconds because of the heavy blood loss. Ladies and gentlemen, I take pride in sharing that it was my team, my boys, and I don't lose any opportunity to bow in front of this team whenever I get it. The boys of 7 Dogra who played on their life to evacuate me out of that battlefield. It took me 2.5 hours to reach to the nearest hospital, but because of heavy blood loss and a cardiac arrest en route, when I was received by the surgeon thought that it's a dead body. And he also passed the instruction to take this dead body to the mortuary. But as the luck would have, there was a senior anesthesiologist present in that small hospital, Colonel Rajinder Singh, and he is known for his never say die spirit, never give up spirit. So he intervened and he revived me out of death that time. Ladies and gentlemen, I again take pride in sharing that he is the one who saved me. It took me 24 years to hunt down his whereabouts, 20 years to hunt down his whereabouts, and 24 years to reach to him when in the month of August this year, I found that he is in California. I was in US for a different mission, and I went to him and conveyed my gratitude for saving him. It's because of him, my team, the boys of 7 Dogra, and many unknown medics and support system created by the hospital people which includes Fauji's and non-Fauji's, which may be from any religion, caste and creed, donated blood to me, looked after me, kept me well, and made me whatever I am. That debt is something which I can't pay throughout my life. Though I was saved by the doctors, however, the situation was so that it was told that I can now live as per the support system created by my family or friends. Because of the injuries, the grave injuries which I sustained out of it. If I show you those injuries, this is the, मैंने कभी स्कूल में ऐसा लेबल डायग्राम नहीं बनाया. And the weight which is mentioned here on the left side corner below, 28 kgs, is after 40 days of my hospitalization. And in those 40 days, n number of blood bottles and n number of raw protein bottles were found inside my body. So you can imagine very well कि मेरा actual condition क्या था. And as if I show you, these are the souvenirs. By not so friendly neighborhood. The shrapnels. This is my amputated stump. All the white marks in front of red dots, red ticks, are the bomb particles. This is my pelvic area, and this one is naughty. This one, and one in elbow. One is there in elbow. These 4 5s are little naughty ones because they keep taking up time and again and keep fingering me to give me pain. And because these are raw iron particles, there is no cure to this pain. I tried n number of medicines, n number of ways and means, chota vada patiala and everything, but nothing worked. When they start creating pain, it is so difficult at times to take turns on the bed. Initially, I used to feel bad about it. I also used to cry, but then I realized that when there is no cure to it, there is no point crying. So when something which you cannot change, it's better to accept it and embrace it happily. And the moment I embraced it, I started smiling over these things. The fight became between my smile and the pain of the shrapnel. और आपको मालूम है कि जीतती हमेशा स्माइल है. There is no way out. Adding further to this, as a soldier, most of us get exposed to barbaric conditions because as a human being, we are not supposed to be killing anybody. Right? We are not meant to kill anybody. But yet, as a soldier, while defending your motherland, you need to do such things where the choice is between looking after your citizens of the country and at the cost of death of a militant or an enemy. So you obviously exercise a choice which is much more safer for the citizens of the country, because that is the oath which you have taken. Country comes first, then comes your team, and in the end comes your own ease and comfort. So we get exposed to such situation which creates PTSD. Are you aware about PTSD?
Yes, post-traumatic.
How many of you are aware about PTSD?
Post-traumatic.
Post-traumatic stress disorder. So that brings to another point. In our society, we are very compassionate towards anything when we see किसी का हाथ प्लास्टर में है और so small a thing कि किसी को fever हो गया है. I am not well is taken as that maybe you have a fever. That's the most we can think. And if you have a fever, oh my God, you take care of yourself. Get well soon. If you see somebody in plaster, get well soon. Somebody is admitted for some reason, get well soon. But we don't come to know if somebody is undergoing some emotional turbulence. We don't come to know about that. And neither we show any interest to find out the fact that what is going wrong with that person. Whether it is your colleague, whether it is your family member, or whether it is your student. How many have actually tried to explore that this kid is actually not the way he behaves, he or she behaves. There's something wrong. Why is he or she is missing from the school? Why he or she is not active as the person used to be? That's our responsibility and duty to understand as a teacher, as a mentor, to find out if something is wrong with that kid. Because if we do not give the comfort to that kid in those days, those moments, perhaps that emotional turbulence may take that kid or get him or her drift to a negative approach. And then we will keep finding faults कि ये बच्चा ठीक काम नहीं कर रहा है. Not knowing that there is something behind that small kid trouble which perhaps that kid is facing. So it's important to understand this fact, and that is the reason why I speak openly about it, because somehow we feel talking emotional or mental health is a stigmatic type of a approach for our society. It's not so. It's a healthy sign if somebody speaks about the emotional problem or the mental or trouble which somebody is undergoing. Please give opportunity to such people to open up freely in front of you. And even if you listen just the pain of the kid, the pain of the person, half of the things will go away, because listening skill is very important. Please don't get into the mode of the teacher that time कि बच्चे को ज्ञान दे कि नहीं कुछ नहीं होगा. होता है, मेरे साथ हुआ है, कुछ होता है. Please understand that. Listening skill is very important for somebody who wish to actually give some tricks of the trade to the person to live life. आधा दिल खोलने से ही काम ठीक हो जाता है. So I understand that. I was not aware what is PTSD, because I am talking about 99-2000 time. Over a period of time, I came to know that these symptoms were related to PTSD. It is this spiritual strength which perhaps was given to me by the Almighty that I could come out of it, and I still try to come out of it. It's not that I'm fully out of it. At times it still troubles me. But that spiritual strength may not be with everybody. Adding further to it, when I stepped out of the army, more than me, the society was eager to label me that you are a disabled. Because we connect disability with karma. भैया ने कुछ गलत काम किए होंगे, पाप लग रहा है, bad karma deeds, the person is playing the result of bad karma deeds and stuff like that. Even if I am confident that I can sustain my life with disability, there are people at times, unawareness. It is not that they meant bad about somebody. It is because of the unawareness, they try to listen and that hearsay statement from one generation to another, oh, it is the bad karma which leads to disability. Without putting your own mind and logic, it is not at all related. It can be something else also. You tell me, Gita says that slain you attain heaven. Victorious you rule the earth for a soldier. Am I right? Yes. So where do I stand? Is it because of the bad karma I got disability? So how can you relate disability with bad karma? In fact, in my opinion, the disabled fraternity is minuscule in number, and yet they can achieve such wonders with the shortage of limb or any part of the body, that when you compare it with the other who have the able body, they have much more ability than anybody else.
Exactly.
So where is the logic? The logic is that the able bodied people who are much more in number, majority, they feel insecure. कि भैया ये हमारे से नहीं हो रहा है, इससे हो गया यार. So that is how the statements from one generation to another generation kept on getting passed illogically without putting mind. कि please curb him here itself so that the person should not approach much and go rise above us. It's a very crude statement I am making, but hard fact. It may hit somebody, but let it hit. Because then only we will introspect that where do we stand? What exactly is the fact? There are so many such illogical statements passed down from one generation to another where we don't put our mind, we don't think, introspect that is it correct or not. We just listen to it and further state it to somebody else. So when I stepped out of the army, this was my reality. Be it physical injuries, psychological troubles, emotional setbacks, I'm a single parent, or a societal question mark on the ability. But in my opinion, the answer to everything is just this. You can't change anything here. I mean, I can't change that I don't have a leg and I'm 100% disabled. So if somebody tells me, कि भाई साहब एक काम करो, आप जोर जोर से रो, cry as loud as you can for 3 days, 36 hours, 46 minutes, and then there will be a leg coming out. Possible? It is not possible. Because if it is possible, then I'll cry even louder for 36 की जगह में 48 घंटे रहूँगा there to have a spare leg also along with it. But now I have a spare leg. I can change my legs. One artificial leg for running, one artificial leg for walking. I can keep my leg anywhere. That's the choice I have now. So when you can't change anything, the best way to get going is this. Accept the reality. Embrace it with full smile and happiness. If I am born sick, I am like that. If I am 5'7", I am like that. If I am black, I am like that. I don't know whether I am black or not. If I am from the northern part of the country, I am like that. If I have some parents, I have my parents. I can't change these facts. So when I can't change these facts, why not I just embrace these facts, these realities? If I have a weakness, who on this earth says that he is master of everything? Nobody. Unless the person is lunatic. For that person, everything he knows. So when everybody and anybody knows something, does know something, don't know something, so that means there we have shortcomings also, there we have abilities also, there we have some inabilities also. So why not just accept those things? Similarly, children or teacher or parents or principals or anybody have, we all are human beings. सब कुछ नहीं जानते हैं. But the moment we justify, no, I know it. However, you don't know it. What is happening in the process? You are putting barriers to your growth. Because one, you don't know. Second, you are justifying that you know it. So you will not put in any efforts to grow out of those challenging situations or some gaps in your personality which you want to improve. And unless and until you have the courage as leader to accept that, okay, I don't know it, your kids will not show that courage. As a leader, we have to lead by example. Do walk the talk. And let everybody understand that each one of us have some strengths and some shortcomings. So when we accept our shortcomings and we embrace it smilingly, then putting the best foot forward, doing the hard work to overcome that shortcoming which you have, at times enables you to make that shortcoming your biggest strength. So that is what I also realize, that if I don't have a leg and people put a question mark on my ability, what do I do? Let me do something which is the most challenging and difficult task for somebody who doesn't have a leg. How many of you run or walk? 5, 7, 10 kilometers in a day. Don't tell me that walking which you are doing in a professional arena or during office. हम ऑफिस में बहुत चलते हैं, क्लास से ऑफिस और ऑफिस से क्लास. That's not walking. Dedicated to your health, actual going out for a walk because that only helps. बाकी सब तो ऐसे ही है. That is when I decided, let's run. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when I had the full body intact, I was not at all interested in going for a long distance run. My body is a stocky build, which is good for sprints, but not for long distance. I was least interested to go for long distance run. In academy, we have a cross country test, जो कि मैं ऐसे ही रोते कर लेता था कि करना है तो कर लो, but not with the interest. However, having said that, after losing the leg, when there was a question mark on my respect and ability, then I decided to undergo that thing which I was least interested in. Because I thought that I can. It starts here. The moment I think that I can, the beginning happens. And for that, you need to accept that this is the shortcoming I have. Unless that acceptance comes, you can't think that I can now overcome it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how in 2009 the first amputee of India could run half marathon with this prosthesis, which is actually walking leg, not meant for running. I ran 3 half marathons with this. I was not at all aware that how do we run with the prosthesis. How does it help? What will be the impact? In fact, the company of which this artificial knee and foot is made, they suggested that don't expose it to the extreme harsh conditions because it may spoil the knee. But the choice was between spoiling the product or spoiling your respect. What matters more? Exactly. So when you think like that, you will always keep your respect intact. In 2011, after 3 half marathons, successfully completing 3 half marathons, Indian Army, you saw that gentleman with big moustache in the video, Lieutenant General Mukesh Sabharwal. He was the Adjutant General of Indian Army. Adjutant General is the HR head. So he met me, he said, son, you are doing a good job. How can I help you? And I candidly spoke. I said, sir, I don't know, but I heard that there is a limb which is known as blade where you can run normal. Because till now I am doing a hop run, jumping on one leg, dragging the other, jumping on one leg and dragging the other. But if I get that blade, perhaps I'll be able to run like a normal person. He said, where do I get it? I said, I don't know. I only know that there is something like this. He said, okay, no problem. Write a TO to me and we'll arrange it. Indian Army in 2011 imports the first blade of the country and donates it to a veteran. That's how we look after each other. Was it easy for me to run on the blade? No, not at all. It was much tougher, much tougher. These are the types of injuries which I used to get. The skin used to get peeled out after every run. Look at these injury marks, and this is the type of blood-soaked socks which I used to remove. And the stump used to be swollen fully, because when you are running with such injuries for 2.5 hours continuously to complete a 21-kilometer run, the blood is coming out continuously, the injuries are getting abrased, and the swelling is happening. More than me for next 10 to 15 days, my mother used to be in trouble because bandages बांधनी पड़ती थी. Prosthesis पहनना तो बहुत दूर की बात है. However, the fact of the matter is that if I became the first amputee marathoner of the country, created a history, if I became the first blade runner of the country, created a history, do I need to stop now? Or is it a challenge given to me? Because somebody is sitting up there, the Almighty understands that this boy perhaps can find the answer to such issues for the sake of others. I did not give up. I found the resolutions to such issues, and today I am injury free. Not just me, but many amputees are running and living life injury free. I I went up to Ladakh. How many of you traveled towards Leh Ladakh? How easy or difficult is to walk there? Because of the rarefied atmosphere. Right? On such route, I ran 21 kilometers there. I had a fall in between 4 to 5 times. But every fall in life gives you 2 options. Either stay on the ground, keep falling, or do a push-up, empower yourself, stand back again and get going. That is the karma which is there in your hand in each moment. And depending upon the choice you exercise, stay on the ground, keep lying, or get up, get going, your destiny gets shaped up. Because that's the karma power which we have in each moment. Then of course, when I ran on Ladakh, 11,000 feet, I realized that अब दौड़ लिए हैं, कुछ और करने की कोशिश करते हैं. So how foolish it is to buy a ticket to go in the air in an aircraft and then say, no, I don't want to travel more, let me jump. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2019, I became the first disabled solo skydiver in the Asia. So this whole journey I traveled because of these 2 letters. And that is inside, not outside. Nobody can inspire you unless you want that happening in your life. Nobody can do that. Was that the end? No, it was not. Then the COVID stuck. And let me share with you candidly, during the COVID, I also got impacted and I was diagnosed with early signs of Parkinson. There was a bad phase. However, as the luck would have, God is very kind upon me. He keeps giving me challenges because He knows that this boy will rise above the challenge. Recently this year, that's how I was in US when I met the doctor and conveyed my gratitude. I learned flying. That's the reason why I celebrate my 15th of July as happy 10th and rebirthday. Because actually the journey started from here. So much so, unfortunately I could not meet Musharraf. Otherwise, I would convey thanks to him. Because he is the one who soldiered through that bomb on me. And the journey started. So we feel that something wrong has happened with us if we undergo some difficulty or challenge. But the matter of the fact is that if you are undergoing a difficult or a challenging situation, you are the lucky one. Because there is a sure growth in the process if you rise above that challenge and difficulty. Mark my word, I am not using that stereotypical statement which again gets passed on from one generation to another. Fight against these challenges, fight against challenges. You don't have to fight against challenges. We listen to this statement and pass it on to others. Fight. Why do you need to fight? The moment you get into a fighting mode, that means you are on the back foot. And you are empowering your enemy. That you are powerful, now let me fight with you. Let it trouble you. You just worry about developing your inner strength. Ignore the issues, ignore the enemy, ignore the challenge. The moment you develop yourself and your inner strength, you build that enemy, that challenge will fall short. You rise above that. Don't waste your time in fighting against anything. Focus on self, rise above the issue, you get the growth and you get the peace because you did not fight. This is the challenging one which you just heard. Look at the passion of all the amputees. This girl, Mansi Joshi, if you know about her, is the para badminton world number 2 now, Arjuna Award, 2019. This boy was on the verge of suicide because of the accident, truck accident, Uday Bagde. Today he is a triathlete, a swimmer, a cyclist, a runner. Because all of them could understand that life is very beautiful. The challenge has been given to us to grow. And we can grow if we think that I can. As simple as that. Look at the passion. Now let me ask you a question, that what actually I was in school. How many of you think that school would have helped me to reach to this level? Definitely. How many of you think definitely? Please raise your hand. Thank you. This is the type of kid I was. Very meek, introvert. My mom told me to sit on this wooden elephant for a picture, and I was so shy and afraid of it कि मैं उसको touch करते हुए भी घबरा रहा. I was an introvert kid. I could not stay with my parents because of some financial situations, and these situations were so hard for that small kid that in 8th standard I ran away from my house. To come back the same day because of courtesy, a wise person who saw me, who knew me. The moment he saw me on the outskirts of the city limits, he asked me, "Where are you going?" And he made me sit on his bicycle. Without asking any question, without giving any lecture, Gyan, he came back and he dropped outside my house. Did not go inside also to complain कि आपका बच्चा भाग के जा रहा था. But that U-turn of my life made me introspect that where could I have reached had I ran away, because I was actually on the path where I knew that this road leads to my granny, my maternal grandmother, and whenever in vacations I am there, I am happy and playing around and doing everything funny and good. Otherwise I was staying with my paternal grandparents in Roorkee. So I thought कि ये road जाती है, and when I used to go with my parents, morning we used to catch bus and evening we used to reach. So if I walk maybe 2-3 days I'll reach. But then I realized that as a kid of 8th standard, if I could have actually taken that journey, maybe somebody would have caught me in between. I would have been helping on a dhaba or a truck cleaner or something like that, or maybe begging somewhere with both the hands not there. Was that the life which I need? No. That day, ladies and gentlemen, I decided that wherever I am, in whichever situation I am, let me accept it. I did not know the English of that act. I could not put it into words, but I heart in heart understood, यहीं रहना है और यहीं पे रह के कुछ करके दिखाना है. That was the first U-turn of my life. And because of that first U-turn of my life, it was very easy for me to accept the second U-turn, which was much more difficult when I got injured in the war. But the journey began there. And because I was introvert, I was very meek. Let me also tell you, I flunked in 11th standard. I was a science student. ट्यूशन पढ़ाने के लिए मना कर दिया टीचर ने, क्लास टीचर ने. Despite my request, when I came to know that if I don't go to him for tuitions, he will not pass me, he refused. No, Devendra, you are a smart kid, you can do anything. I said, okay, I can do anything. And I flunked. The only fact of my school life, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately I remember, is that there was a maths teacher by the name of Upadhyay, Mr. Upadhyay sir. When the physics teacher refused me to give even the admit card for the board exam, and he was asking me to come again and again and again and again and again, despite the thing that I should be actually studying at home, preparing myself. The Upadhyay sir once saw me and he asked me, "DP, where are you roaming around? पढ़ क्यों नहीं रहा तू घर बैठे?" I said, sir, the class teacher is not giving me the admit card. He said, he's just making you run around. Don't waste your time. Go back and come 1 week prior to the exams. You automatically will get the admit card. I remember this fact, the only support which I got in my school. I saved a kid of 2nd standard when a beehive was fiddled by some naughty kid. पत्थर मार के वो सारी मधुमक्खियां उस बच्ची के ऊपर आ गई थी. And I saw that small girl walking towards me. I could not react anything, but ran towards that small girl, took out my sweater, threw it on her, took her to the school premises, and she was taken to the hospital. And because of the big bee, she was actually looking like this. This is not the real picture, but she was actually looking like this. It was told to me that had she been late by 5-10 minutes, she could not have survived. I understood that I flung to save this child life. Because I was repeating the 11th class. That's when the pre-board was happening for the board kids of 12th, my previous batch. And I was still coming to the school. That is when this incident happened. Because I used to think that everything happens for good. So I found the answer. This is the good which I realized, for which I actually failed. But the matter of the fact is, nobody in school ever gave me that pat. Well done, kid. Otherwise, in such things, children go up to 26th January wala parade also. Well, I on my own understood that I am an introvert, I have to work upon myself. I started participating in various cultural meets wherever I got the opportunity. This is a song I am singing for my previous batch when they were passing out the 12th farewell OTD. And I remember that while singing that song, I increased the pitch and I cracked my voice. Like that. And similar the way all the students laughed over me. But I did not give up. I said, you keep laughing. I am here to complete the song. I will complete the song. Then this girl also helped me. The school also came to know only when it was announced that runner-up is Devinder Pal Singh. But this is all self-taken panga. Because I knew that I have to come out of my inferiority complex. It was not guided by anybody. Do you still think that school helped me? My school has not even yet invited me once to honor me for whatever achievements I have done. I am very sorry to share this, but this is the fact of many schools. It's a hard fact. If you are not there, feel good about it. If you are somewhere there, do a little introspection, because there might be many kids like me. And it is not that every kid like me is fortunate, blessed. I am blessed. I am fortunate. I have been held, my hand has been held by Almighty directly. Because of the spiritual strength, I could achieve whatever I could achieve. But there are many kids like me who could have strayed towards the negative side of the path, negative side of the life. And then none of you would actually boast like you boast when a smart kid achieves something that he is from my school. Will you have the courage to boast if somebody goes on a wrong path that this kid is also from my school? So please introspect that how many of you actually look after those kids who are weak. It's a hard fact that every school nourishes and nurtures and jumps over the result of first 4 or 5 kids who are 99% and stuff like that. But the real thing is, real education, real teaching is, if you are able to get that weakling up to 60 or 50%. If you are doing it, very good. But if you are not doing it, don't expect that I will do a cushy talk. Here, आप लोग बड़ा अच्छा काम करोगे. Because I know my type of kids are there. And it's my duty to reach to this level, if I have reached to this level, to give the eye-opener statements to everyone who is responsible, to not just for this country. You all are nurturing human beings of this earth. It is the onus on each one of you to go out of the way and nurture that human being. You are pious people who have got the responsibility or duty to do something which is fantastic for the future. How many of us actually get this opportunity? No other profession can actually stand near you. I thank you for your service, sirs and ma'ams. Because of you people, tomorrow, future of this earth, I don't wish to restrict myself with one country, will become better, beautiful, compassionate, empathetic, happy, humane. Marks does not make much difference. We all know it. But these qualities, characters of the human being does make a difference. I flunked. I was throughout 58, 56, 55%. But you have invited me today to speak. That means that I could reach somewhere. So marks does not play any role. But the character does play a role. The attitude does play a role. And character and attitude can only be developed by walking the talk. So to end, I might have been able to give you a perspective which is a positive perspective towards the challenges. But yet, as a human being, we tend to get astray and forget. So that's the last parting note from my side. If you ever wish to give up, the only thing which you can give up is give up giving up. Give up giving up. All these applause, awards will get lined up automatically, sir and ma'am. You don't have to worry about it. I never thought about that I'll get a national award to mere ko daudna hai. I never worried about all those things. It follows you. The respect, the money, award, applause will automatically follow you. If you are passionate towards your duty, what you are supposed to do. I understand we all have families and we all have the same humane nature what others in this society are roaming around with. At times we do get astray, but that is where one needs to introspect and come back on the track. Because fortunately you are in such noble profession that you are the one who are going to make the difference in tomorrow's society, tomorrow's earth. So from my side, I have a request. For your sake, please give yourself a big round of applause. As louder as you want for yourself. And you know what? Louder for yourself. My gratitude to all of you. Thank you for your service, sirs and ma'am. Thank you so much. These are my coordinates if you wish to stay connected with me, and this is that book. Okay, ma'am. This is that book where you can read. It's a graphic novel. Very easy to read because I was not a very good reader. So I didn't want to put any barrier of reading. That's why it is in a pictorial form. I am open for any questions if you have, please.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच।
माय प्लेजर सर।
आज आपने हमें काफ़ी उत्साह और ऊर्जा से भर दिया है, उसके लिए धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू सर।
मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि सर आपका डेली रूटीन क्या है?
सर शॉर्ट में बताऊं कि लॉन्ग में बताऊं?
जिसमें आपको अच्छा लगे सर।
तो शॉर्ट में तो ऐसा है कि रात को सोता हूँ, सुबह उठता हूँ, खाता हूँ, पीता हूँ और फिर सो जाता हूँ।
ये तो हम सभी करते हैं सर।
Otherwise, because I have injuries, I don't have options. I have to keep my words, my promise which I have did with myself. When on the hospital bed, doctor had asked me कि भैया बेटा we need to ampute your leg, and I told him कि sir please go ahead and do the best whatever you feel. I knew that it will get amputated. That is when I promised myself that I will never compromise with the quality and standard of my life. And in order to keep that promise with myself, I have to stay out of my comfort zone most of the time. I have to push myself. Because in my opinion, pampering yourself can never be happening in comfort zone. If you really love yourself, you have to push and be better of yourself. So for that, I obviously every day get up, drink water, do some spiritual listening of part, alongside yoga, stretching, pranayam, and then depending upon what that day I am supposed to do, either I go for a walk or a run or physical other exercises, strength training exercises, and then of course my breakfast, which is again not a regular. Most of the time I take a smoothie of various dry fruits kept overnight soaked, kept in the milk, along with eggs or some protein like dal ka chila and stuff like that. And then during the day, if I have some engagements like this, I go for that. Otherwise, if I am not having any engagement, I sometimes go for the golf. Like now only I am, after finishing this, I am supposed to travel to Delhi because there is a promo run happening for the first ever marathon Indian Army, which is organizing on 10th of December. That is dedicated to the Kargil war. It's named as Honor Run. In fact, I will request that if in case you can have a look on that Honor Run. It is the Indian Army initiative. First time in the country, Indian Army itself is organizing this marathon, and continuously now it will be organized. As the name says, Honor Run, it is in the honor of all those warriors who has given away their life for the sake of us or got disabled in line of duty. To convey respect to those families and to have a platform where you have a bonhomie between those public civilians and the families of the warriors and disabled soldiers and stuff like that. We would be running together on 10th of December. And every year it will be done. So there's a promo run on Sunday, tomorrow morning. I'll reach today there. So kal subah वहाँ दौड़ के फिर I'll travel back again. And then Monday I am here. Tuesday onward there is a corporate talks, 2-3 lined up. Bangalore, Hyderabad, Jodhpur, and then come back and go to Patiala. So this is the way I am engaged throughout the week, something or else. But night, I take dinner around 7:38 so that I have at least 2 hours time between sleeping and dinner. And then I go for a small walk so that, because I have intestinal troubles, so digestion at times has to kept in check. So these things helps me to stay active, sleep happy, peacefully. रात को कई बार वो तंग करते हैं, तो करने दो. This is how my routine happens, sir.
Honor run एक ही टाउन में होगा या अदर सिटीज में?
Sir, Honor Run on ground is happening in Delhi on 10th of December. Otherwise, if you register yourself for a virtual run, we have both the options. On ground run in Delhi, you come and run with the people there. Otherwise, whichever part of the country you are, you can register for virtual run and run on that day and post yourself, tag to the Indian Army and convey that your gratitude or whatever you wish to convey your honor to the warriors.
Sir, I have a question. You said that you had that early signs of Parkinson, and so how did you overcome that?
So, ma'am, early signs of Parkinson I have, which was a big shock for me कि मेरे जैसे बंदे को कैसे हो गया? Because I am a very active person. But there's a concoction of disability, pollution, emotional setbacks, which sometimes, because generally it happens to 70 plus age group, not in my age. But हो गया तो हो गया. So my way of handling it कि just forget it. I am supposed to take medicine 3 times a day. I take medicine. Little knowledge which I have gained to stay active and stay healthy is to take care of your gut and take care of your breathing. So I do pranayam for that. And then I don't just think and get exposed to any Google search कि ये होगा तो क्या होगा, वो होगा तो क्या होगा. जो होगा देखी जाएगी. And this approach is something like little knowledge is not always a dangerous thing. At times, it helps to stay unknown to the area which may trouble you. Because as a human being, you have the inbuilt facility to keep yourself aloof from such things. What do you call that? Survival attitude. So that helps you to stay active. The more you think, the more you brood, the more you worry, the more you connect. ये उसके कारण हो रहा है. And then you are gone. That's a vicious circle. Manifestation. You understand manifestation? Because the more you think, this is the same thing what I told here. I can. You're thinking I can. You're manifesting. But I can. And the more you think like that I can. Even nature conspires and keeps supporting you to move toward that side where you can.
It's more of self-healing.
Exactly. That is the best healing, because the moment you start depending upon somebody else, it is a vicious circle. अगर कुछ गड़बड़ हो गई, तुमने ठीक नहीं किया. And medicines should be bare minimum. See, all the body organs which I have are injured, especially the intestine part. Partly intestines are not there. It used to keep me under trouble. Flatulence, blotting, mucus, all that stuff which used to happen before I used to run. But the moment I started running, everything got online, because the organs also understood that this guy is not going to leave us. So better behave. So instead of giving it to the third party is the medicine. The organ will feel, oh, now I don't have to work, third party is working on my behalf. So it will all go further down. But you tell, bhai sahab, abhi nahi kaam karna hai, you wake up. So that you have to be little cruel to yourself. That's what I said. Pampering yourself, loving yourself is not actually living in the comfort zone. If you are really interested to love yourself and see happy, then you have to go out of that comfort zone, push yourself. That is where the growth is. Anybody else? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Again, my gratitude to your noble profession. Pardon me if I have hurt anybody's feelings. But kindly do little introspection, and I am very sure the kids who will get nurtured out of your hands will be a good human being, citizens of this earth. Thank you so much. God bless you all.